This Easter at Spa, we have everything you need to put smiles on the faces of everyone around your Easter table. Get Nescafe Classic Coffee for only $84.99 and Crew Baked Beans and Tomato Sauce. Buy two for just 24 emalangeni. This Easter, start something special at Spa.
Good evening, dear viewers, and welcome to the News Bulletin at 8, brought to you by our number one news provider, Eswatini TV. I am Nondomiso Villagati alongside Zaman Zamanza. Let's take a look at our top stories. The Prime Minister says there's an urgent need to review some legislative tools to curb the gun violence in the country. The Deputy Prime Minister says his office will soon commission a disability council that will focus on the welfare of persons with disabilities. The Minister of Tinkhundla and Development has handed over 5 motor vehicles worth 3 million emalangeni. The news in detail. The Prime Minister Cleopas Dlamini says there's an urgent need to review some legislative tools to curb the gun violence in the country. The Prime Minister has been speaking in Parliament during the debate of the 2023-2024 budget.
During the ongoing presentation of the annual performance reports for the 2022-2023 financial year, which is also the debate of the 2023-2024 budget, the Prime Minister Cleopas Dlamini delivered his preamble on key performance areas for the upcoming financial year. Members of the committee then debated the Prime Minister's report.
Labafana bengonyama bekusilimalela basemsebentini ngabe umhlonishwa Ndvunankhulu ikhona indlela ukuthi labantwana bemagcawe ibe khona phela indlela ukuthi nabo bangcembedelwe nekuthi ke bangavusa labanye labakhona etindlini tabo.
Emavela amanye ahlaselwa nolaqhubeka ahlaseleka ngalolu hlobo lolu la kubulawa abantu ngesibhamu sinome willy nilly kuthi sekwenteke njalo abesathi hlola lokuthi imithetho nemigomo lekhona ngabe ngilenele yini ngikona lapha ngithi mina asesibuke ukuthi kugwema imikhuhlane lenjengale the insufficiency adequate or otherwise yale umthetho leyo ingeke ibukwe yini kokuthi itoba nematinyo.
The Prime Minister Cleopas Dlamini then responded to the debate.
Nabo ubasebenzisa kabi sekuboshwa abantu usungakabona umuntu afika abhadale 200 uphumile umuntu obukutholakala netibhamu netinhlavu uyakubuka nje ayikhiphe khikhini angayengisho kuye withdraw ebhange ngoba vele le fine yakadzeni so uyafuna ku reviewer nalaba nabetibhamu nje le committee bashito vele lo mthetho so lusi kakhulu. It's almost like not a crime ukubonakala nesibhamu ngoba kude lo wendiwa khona.
The Prime Minister on his preamble also mentioned that the crime volume recorded a 7.0 decrease in the 2022-2023 financial year. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I am Samgal Suekoza with Mbongwa Dube, Parliament.
The Deputy Prime Minister Themba Masuku says his office will soon commission a disability council that will focus on the welfare of persons with disabilities. The Deputy Prime Minister has been speaking in Parliament during the presentation of the annual performance report for the 2022-2023 financial year.
The Deputy Prime Minister Themba Masuku has presented the 2022-2023 annual performance report before the Ministry's Portfolio Committee at the House of Senate that is led by Senator Prince Makutvulela as the chairperson. Members of the committee, when asking questions, asked about the welfare of persons with disabilities in the country.
Kunini lapho silive siyawuhlala phansi sibuka nje ukuthi cha inyalo asesibuke nje ukuthi lenkinga lengenge ukuthi labakhubatekile siyawuhlala sinabo vele baphila kuphila kuni
baningi bantwana DPM labahleli emakhaya basinabahleli nje ubangale ukuthi awuso lakhalo phana kwende njani phela engabe usesikolweni lapha uhulumende uyabhadala. Ingabe where is the missing link la kutikweni la DPM na education? Kuyalandzeleleka yini ukuthi mhlambe lona bekanayo le nombolo yakhe ukuthi ulohlelo laka free education? So usekhaya manje hulumende uyabhadala le mali yokuthi lona solusesikolweni cabanga usesikolweni umntwana ngalo mntwana swaba sekhanza badakubo top up nako konke ukuthi kuyalandzeleleka yini lokho labantwana nabahleli emakhaya bekuse sekutawuthiwani ngobe bese kukhanzakala abantwana besebangenela nento edingasito.
The Deputy Prime Minister Themba Masuku then responded to the questions.
Kuleviki letako mhlambe ngalesine sitabe simemetela i-Disability Council lehambelana nalo mthetho wa 2018 we-disability. I-portfolio committee nje sitayibita nasiyobeka lelo bandla lokunye kwayo kudetermine kubuka ukuthi ngubani lofanele ukuthi atfole imali kule disability grant ngoba kwanyalo sisakubuka wena ungahle sibonisane kukhona lesesikubone sonke lokungeke kuphikiswe nangidokotela kukhona lokunye lesingeke sakubona thina lokufuna bodokotela kule council nje utakhonza ukuthi kuna dokotela ngilaba tasibukela konke lokho.
The Deputy Prime Minister will present before the committee a report of written responses. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I'm Samkel Suekoza with Sikhumbuzo Dlamini, Parliament.
The Minister of Education, Lady Howard, says financial literacy is essential to the education system. The minister has been speaking during the commemoration of the Global Money Week hosted by the Central Bank of Eswatini on Wednesday. The minister was represented by the Principal Secretary at the Ministry, Themba Gama.
Global Money Week is a global money awareness celebration that takes place in March every year to raise awareness on economic citizenship and directly engage children and youth worldwide on the issue. The Central Bank of Eswatini, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, together with other financial institutions in the country, commemorated the week on Wednesday, where the Minister of Education and Training, Lady Howard, emphasized on the importance of financial literacy. The minister was represented by the PS Themba Gama.
As a ministry, we firmly believe that financial literacy is an essential component of the education system. And it is an area that needs our attention now more than ever.
Governor of the Central Bank of Eswatini, Philim Nisi, shared words of wisdom on how to save money and plan for the future.
The Central Bank is passionate about initiatives such as Global Money Week that have particular focus on empowering our children and youth through financial education. Sound macroeconomic management is critical for economic growth and development, and this requires an economically and financially literate population. So when we teach our children at an early stage, we are contributing to a sound macroeconomic management.
Other speakers on the day include FSRA CEO Ncamiso Njalinjali and Center for Financial Inclusion CEO Nomcebo Hadebe, who spoke about the importance of saving. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I'm Samgal Suekoza with Sikhumbuzo Dlamini, Eswatini.
The Minister of Commerce, Industry and Trade says the country will soon be receiving investors from the United Arab Emirates, Indonesia and Bangladesh. The minister has been speaking in Parliament during the debate of the 2023-2024 budget.
The Minister of Commerce, Industry and Trade, Mangoba Khumalo, has presented before the Ministry's Portfolio Committee at the House of Senate a report of the annual performance for the 2022-2023 financial year. After the presentation, senators then debated the minister's report.
On international trade, I have a question. Lengingati noma inkabansi tsinse matiko lamabili ndvuna. Itolo besilalele litiko la Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation. Lebelisho ukuthi liyahamba liyo nalo ekuhambeni kwalo la swelihambene live khona likhona ukukhulumisana nabo somabhizinisi naselibakhulumisile bese beta ekhaya sekufuna baqale imisebenzi. My question there is, how is the collaboration between the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Ministry of Commerce kuze kuthi nasafikile kube nje ngilokuphangisako kungabe ukuthi seyiwile lendvo lebese kusebenza akusafiki la kufuna kufike khona.
Some of the peri-urban areas ukhanza kugcwele abantwana abaningi ngathi abadi nalothu kwentekani laveni abadi othi bangasitakala kuphi sithi noma sibabuta ungazi ukuthi nje bablank lentani litiko ngaloko ukuthi mhlambe livakashele lama regions
ma factory shells endvuna langa lakhiwako all over the country siyakuthokozela indvo lenhle kakhulu ingabe nasesahamba lo somabhizinisi kwendekani ngoba nasechamuka mine nami ngichamuka lemaveni ngidawufuna my own a plan ukuthi mina ndafuna ukuthi kume kanje.
The Minister of Commerce then responded to the debate.
A lot of work is being done. Sikhuluma nje nakuleli viki letako sibhekela abanye lababuya e-UAE ingonyama leyafike abasoma khona sihambe nayo sipresenta nebaka IPA kuleli viki khona bebakhona lababuya khona kubo UAE sibheke base Indonesia base Bangladesh basilandzela simisele lokho ukuthi vele sisebente nelitiko like international trade to make this happen.
The minister is expected to submit a report of written responses before the committee. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I am Samgal Swekoza with Sikumbuzo Dlamini, Parliament.
The Minister of Tinkhundla and Development, David Ngampalala, has handed over 5 motor vehicles worth 3 million malangeni to service centers under the ministry for the purpose of decentralization. The motor vehicles include 2 Toyota Quantums and 3 Toyota Reunion.
The 5 motor vehicles will be used by the Ministry of Tinkhundla and Development Service Centers at Lavumisa, Geke, Hluti, Mayiwane, Spofane, as well as Thobelweni. The Minister of Tinkhundla and Development, David Ngampalala, says 2 Toyota Quantums will service Geke and Lavumisa centers, while the 3 7-seaters motor vehicles will go to Spofane and Mayiwane. The other one will be used by the Decentralization Department for Coordination, Monitoring and Evaluation.
Lagi wakhona sisanithuma bekunene nine lenmixa lama service sengumphako wenu kulabantu manifika njengoba ndawuphuma niye kubo kuthi ndangelo hulumende wetinkhundla ute la ulethena ama service kusitakale emaswati ngoba indaba lesilupha kokupolitiki sisithathana letinkhundleni ngathi ngikwetha akusiko kwethe etinkhundleni lokhu kuya kulabantu.
Somtonga constituency member of parliament Dumsane Mpamali praises the Minister of Tinkhundla and Development for the motor vehicles.
Sitha sinibonge kuleli thuba la tinkhundleni niwente lo msebenzi wabe mhle kakhulu nakhombisa ukuthi tinkhundla dimele ukuthi tisebente kulabantu.
He says they will play a huge role in decentralization of government services. Minister Ngampalala says decentralization bill is still with the Attorney General Office. However, that does not stop the ministry from decentralizing some of government services. For Eswatini TV News, Fortune Dlanga Mandla, with Minkosi Nzinisa Mbabane.
The acting Minister for Natural Resources and Energy, Jabulani Mabuza, has asked all stakeholders involved in the water cycle to work in coordination in ensuring clean water for all and that water is conserved at all times. Mabuza was speaking at Makuka during the World Water Day commemoration.
The World Water Day theme 2023 speaks to the accelerating change to solve the water and sanitation crisis. Dysfunction throughout the water cycle undermines progress on all major global issues from health to hunger. The World Water Day was commemorated at Makuka Dam with all stakeholders of the Ministry of Natural Resources present. The acting Minister of Natural Resources, Jabulani Mabuza, says there are quite a number of challenges, including access to water in some areas, access to clean water in some. Rivers and springs have dried up, resulting in people traveling long distances to access water. Climate change, which has brought too much rain, and also lack of rains, to name amongst a few.
Singema sector ngokwehlukana noma ke singema institutions ngokwehlukana siyakukhuthaza lokuthi vele asisebenzeni kanye le cooperation and coordination kuvele nje kubanjiswane emkhathini wato tonke tingaphali naye uhulumende ekhathi labasebenza ngenzabatemandi kusetshenzwe kanye kuze lo msebenzi utowukhona kuba impumelelo nasisebenza sikanye emathuba ukuthi sikuncobe lokunengi abasezingeni lelisetulu siyakukhuthaza ke kubambisana nalowo muntu ekhonini lakhe lapho akhona naye afake wakhe umfutho noma ngabe ke seyi-individual lala ukhona nawe wente lokusemandleni ngokuthi sikhone ukubambisana.
He calls for nature and water conservation in order to have a clean, sustainable environment. Stakeholders pledged their support in the cooperation and coordination of the different sectors towards water sustainability. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I am Kian Msibi with Smuva Shongwe, Makuka.
The government of Eswatini, in partnership with UNDP, has launched the Eswatini Youth Empowerment Program aimed at assisting graduates with job opportunities in order to reduce the high youth unemployment rate in the country.
The Eswatini Youth Empowerment Program seeks to ensure that graduates and out-of-school youth get employment opportunities and reduce the high unemployment rate amongst the youth. The UNDP representative Rose Sebat Indira says government realizes the impact of youth and employment.
We have drawn inspiration to rethink how best to optimize UNDP's vast presence globally, the impressive global network that we have, and unwavering trust capital that to accelerate transformative and inclusive development, targeting, once again, the plight of the youth in Eswatini. So we are drawing on our experience globally to address the case of the youth unemployment in Eswatini, while, of course, bearing in mind that Eswatini is indeed a unique context, and therefore we must align our best practices with the Eswatini context, and most especially what the youth themselves are looking for.
Annually, about 4,000 graduates graduate and afterwards sit at home with no employment. The program targets 10,000 youth. The out-of-school youth can tap into wiring, plumbing, sewing, amongst other causes. Reporting, I am Kian Msibu Smuva Shongwe, Mbabane.
Mhlume constituency leads with COVID-19 cases, while Lubombo region is the leading region with the most COVID-19 cases. This was revealed during a media engagement by the Ministry of Health with media houses on the sensitization of the youth on COVID-19 and vaccine integration into the health facilities.
The Minister of Health, Epidemiologists and Disease Control Unit Surveillance Officer Snigiwe Ngumalo and Dr. Mfundo Mota give an update on COVID-19 emergency response project.
For the past 2 weeks, we have had COVID grading as a red, which suggests that we are having a threat of a potential increase in the number of cases. We have had 57% of the cases being females and 43% of them being males. And then we have seen the age group 40 to 49 contributing most of the cases, whereby they contributed 25% of all the cases. And then when we further look into the school-going age group, we see that they contributed 16.7% of the cases, which is also potentially a threat, seeing that schools are congregate settings.
We see that most of the Nguldas that they have a proximity very much close to town, they are highly likely to have a low coverage. So your Mhlumes, because those are industrial areas, your Mhlumes, your Spokanenis, your Shisheleni too, they have firms there, Bozingyang and the Walusenis, so they have low coverage.
The Minister of Health Promotional Officer Stumo Lukele says the ministry notes with concern that most young people are reluctant to vaccinate.
We note with great concern the hesitancy among our youth to take the vaccine, yet they are frequent migrants who may easily spread the COVID-19 virus.
Dr. Mota says Eswatini has 65,000 Pfizer vaccines. He adds that more vaccines have been destroyed after expiring. For Eswatini TV News, Fortune Dlangamandla with Vumenkosi Nzinisa Eswatini.
Dear viewers, now take a short commercial break. Up next will be the financial updates.
And you came to me like this Easter at Spa. We have everything you need to put smiles on the faces of everyone around your Easter table. Get 2-liter liquid fruit for only $39.99 and Ola Rich and Creamy ice cream. Buy any two for just 100 emalangeni. This Easter, start something special at Spa.
It can be.
Welcome back. You're still watching Eswatini TV, and for sports news tonight, the Minister for Sports, who was represented by the Minister of Tinkundla, David Ngampalala, says the sporting fraternity has a responsibility of giving back to the community, especially to the needy. The Minister said this during a press briefing of charity work between Bible Society of Eswatini and last year's champions of Bible Society Cup, Mbabane Highlanders, where the two parties are constructing a house for a 75-year-old woman from Lavumisa. Their house will be officially unveiled on the 1st of April this year.
The Minister for Sports, who was represented by the Minister for Tinkundla, David Ngampalala, says sporting fraternity have got a responsibility of giving back to the community, especially to needy people. The Minister said this during a press briefing about a charity work between Bible Society of Eswatini and last year's champions of the Bible Society Cup, Mbabane Highlanders, where they are constructing a house for a 75-year-old named Wilnomo Viragati from Lavumisa, with the house to be officially unveiled on the 1st of April this year.
Kuyasijabulisa ukubona nawe emathimini lamakhulu lalandelwa abantu abaningi baya nje emakhaya ngokucala lokho esikubonga koloko lesibhekile nje ukuthi abantu tindimbane ngetindimbane batabe bayawubona yona licembu leMbabane Highlanders lokuyingcenye kumikisa lo msebenzi lapha kumconcwane.
And in other news, the Eswatini National Supporters Committee are in hard preparations for an international trip to Mbombela Stadium in the Republic of South Africa to go support the national team Sihlang Seminigati in the return game against Cape Verde on Monday under the Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers, with the first leg to be played this coming Friday in Cape Verde.
We're looking forward to then decide after we've sorted our internal logistics as to everything that will be needed for this particular game. Then that's when we'll be able to tell any possibilities, especially as we are saying that it's a working date on a Monday. Because Mbombela is not very far, definitely it will be something like leaving in the morning and coming back on the same day.
And in our international news, Paris Saint-Germain star and national team star Kylian Mbappé has been revealed as the new national team captain at the age of 24. This follows the retirement of former captain Hugo Lloris, who retired last month at the age of 36. Mbappé has so far played 66 games for France since 2017.
That is all we had for tonight, but before we wrap up, we'll take a quick recap of today's headlines. The Prime Minister says there's an urgent need to review some legislative tools to curb the gun violence in the country. The Deputy Prime Minister says his office will soon commission a disability council that will focus on the welfare of persons with disabilities. The Minister of Tinkundla and Development has handed over 5 motor vehicles worth 3 million emalangeni. Brings us to the end of our news bulletin tonight. Up next is the weather focus for selected towns. Good night, Eswatini.
And you came to me like
This Easter at Spa, we have everything you need to put smiles on the faces of everyone around your Easter table. Get Nescafe Classic Coffee for only $84.99 and Cool Baked Beans and Tomato Sauce. Buy 2 for just 24 emalangeni. This Easter, start something special
at Spa.